It's not just that they've broken data protection rules and sharing information about an account. It's the fact that they were keeping that sort of information on their clients to start with. I mean, when you look at what they were keeping on Nigel Farage, they listed a whole range of things. Oh, he's racist, he's this, he's that, he's the other. Why are banks keeping that sort of information? I mean, they are not NGOs. They are there, allegedly, to look after our money and to keep it safe for us. But it also goes not just to banks, but much wider. There are many organisations now that are actually way beyond their remit, and they're taking in. They're saying, in an effort to be inclusive, we need to do this and we need to do that. And actually, they're turning inclusion on its head, because if you don't agree with their views, you're out.
It's a wrong think again, isn't it? It's George Orwell's 1984.
It is, absolutely. And I have to say, Nigel Farage, thank goodness he was debanked, because he has now been a catalyst for everything that is happening.
You've been a hugely political figure in your time. What do you think the bank has got on you? And are you your bank? And are you tempted to find out?
I am, but I'm afraid what I might find. And I think a lot of people are thinking the same. I've never had a difficulty with my bank, thank goodness. But there are many, many ordinary people now that are coming forward. And I think this is why Nigel is starting this campaign, setting up this website, so that people can come forward and say, I was debanked, couldn't understand why, but because I'm just an ordinary person, what could I do about it?
You think there would be unanimity on this issue? It's not a political issue, it's not party political, but on yesterday, the Labour Party had 3 different positions. So Nick Thomas-Symonds, he's the Shadow Business Development Secretary, said, well, you know, if only they'd been more proactive about condemning other companies, such as the companies that run the Felixstowe docks. Then you had Keir Starmer reluctantly saying Nigel Starmer had been badly treated. Astonishingly, the Shadow Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, she's a heartbeat away from being our Chancellor of the Exchequer, said on Channel 4 News yesterday, it's a disgrace. The Tories bullied a senior, radical woman chief executive out of a job.
I couldn't believe what Rachel Reeves said yesterday, actually. I just found it incredible that she was turning it into a gender issue, and that if Alison Rose had been a man, they wouldn't have bullied her in that fashion. I mean, frankly, as a female who has been in a political position, I find that quite offensive, actually. You know, you don't just say, oh, well, because she's a woman, she's incapable of doing wrong.
Don't you think, Arlene?
Of course she's incapable of doing wrong because she's a woman. No, sorry, she got it wrong. Therefore, it was right that she went reluctantly by the looks of it. But let us not forget that her board backed her. Her board backed her.
So do you think, Arlene, now that our chairman, Sir Howard Davis, who was due to retire next week, who said, you know, he backed her, done nothing wrong. Next year. Do you think he should go now? Is Nigel Farage right in calling for the board to go, not just
I think so,
Dame Alison Rose?
Because they didn't take action. They actually backed her initially, and it was only, we're told, because of the attitude of the Chancellor and the Prime Minister that they actually took the action in the middle of the night.
5:42, the board of the Bank of the NatWest put a statement out supporting her but criticising her for her misjudgment. She broke banking laws. And then 20 minutes later, the Treasury are onto the bank saying, are you sure? Isn't it astonishing that the bank didn't even consult the Chancellor and the Prime Minister, bearing in mind who's the largest shareholder in this bank? We, the taxpayer.
39% of the shares are owned by us.
They didn't even consult them as to whether Alison Rose could keep her job.
And let's not forget who this lady is. She was on the Prime Minister's Business Council. She has been a very powerful person, not just in banking, but seen as somebody who, you know, has broken through the glass ceiling and has done. And the fact that she thought she was untouchable, and yes, I made a mistake, but I'm staying on. Sorry, no. If a junior clerk had made that mistake, they'd have been out the door.